Hello everyone, and now welcome to a game between 120 and Starbuck. This game taking place here on Northern Isle. On the bottom left-hand side of the map, we have Starbuck spawning as the yellow human. Meanwhile, on the top right, we have 120 spawning as the blue undead, young in spirit. That's what counts. I don't know if I used to think I was young in spirit until I had to start parenting, and then I realized I'm starting to sound more and more like my own parents. And when you start sounding like your parents, you really don't think you're young in spirit anymore. 120 opening things up with a Lich going up against an Archmage first. This will be a battle of the brains here. Lich possible because of that Rod of Necromancy and Dark Rituals. Archmage gonna move across here, going after this 5-4-4 creep camp. One Acolyte tried to do a little bit of scouting and went just a little bit too far as the Acolyte gets taken down. Ogre Magi going to be the first to get taken down here. I always believe the order should be Ogre Magi, Tuskar Trapper, and then the Tuskar Warrior. The Tuskar Trapper with that medium armor, so easy to take down for a bunch of militia. Potion of Invulnerability picked up as well as the Tuskar Warrior finishes off. The Circle of Life, yes. Archmage, for some reason, not finishing off that water elemental. Meanwhile, it may be 120 with a fast expansion. Undead fast expansion. How the game has changed over the years. A human versus undead matchup with the fast expansion made by the undead. Lich selling that Scroll of Town Portal and placing down Blight, gonna set up a Ziggurat first, Nerubian Tower, and then perhaps from there, try and tech to tier 2. Now, what options does Starbuck have? Starbuck looking to go for a fast tech to tier 2, and with that, he will... Nice play by Lich. Lich getting that last Frost Nova kill there, denying a bit of experience, and also getting a lot of AoE split damage across all those units. Their last Fireball in the back of that Ghoul. Once more, another Frost Nova going down. Big AoE damage. Essentially, I almost feel that the Lich's Frost Nova is essentially a ranged thunderclap, as it does so much damage to and then dealing bonus damage to that centered target unit. That's how that Lich is almost played, slowing things down as well. Ziggurat is done. No expo as of yet. Additional acolytes are being trained, and this footman, doing things which would make most human footmen absolutely scared for his life, running into an undead base with a Nerubian Tower. Alright, Archmage, dual water elementals. One is an illusion. Which one is real is the question here, as the Archmage is trying to, finish off, we're trying to save that footman, instead forced to deny. Alright. More damage getting racked up. Low hit point Ghoul. That illusion is taking far too much damage. This water elemental turning back around and, poking a bit more as well. The Mountain King. That appearance by Starbuck should be a very big deal. Starbuck being able to get that Mountain King early, and with that early level 1 Stormbolt, really deal large amounts of damage. Starbuck is going to aggro the creeps. Yes, he is, but doesn't do it early enough in order to deny the experience from the footman. At least with the top 16-20 players, anyone can beat anyone on a given day, which makes things more exciting. Yeah, except Happy. Yeah. Top 16 players aside from the Emperor, yeah, who sit across that throne for a long time. All right, Illusion Archmage just going to be left alone right there, poof into nothing. Lich now with Boots of Speed trying to chase back down a bit more. Are we looking at that Mountain King? We are going up for dual arcane or dual a single Arcane Sanctum, and also perhaps going to be training up some Riflemen too. Starbuck really trying to shut down this Haunted Goldmine before it gets up and operational, as that is going to be causing lots of problems. Archmage has 15 seconds of invulnerability, trying to sidestep, glitch this horse Archmage out of position here. Level 3 now on the Lich there, as a Ghoul going to get taken down, but denied once more by 120. Some great denies so far as the Archmage now being forced to use a tactical retreat. Scroll of Town Portal, Footman getting back closer so that they get the ticket back home. Archmage perhaps waiting for Mountain King to join in on the fight, perhaps trying to pick up a Scroll of Town Portal as well, some other item. Nope, gonna do an Ivory Tower to get up a base of his own, and Boots of Speed now transferred to that Mountain King. Alright, Archmage wants to make sure Starbuck knows he cannot allow his opponent to get that economic advantage too much, as the Archmage now backs away. Militia coming over, clearing things up here. Mountain King, Stormbolt picking up a Pendant of Energy. That would be a big item to add, as the Mountain King now makes its way back over here to try and protect the main base. Alright, this could be a problem. Ghouls are now making their way over. Militia now trying to fight back, but the Lich with level 2 Frost Nova could make short work. Mountain King is going to get a Stormbolt. Yeah, Stormbolt onto the Lich. The Lich is just going to suffer a little bit of damage unless he can get a good surround. No, surrounding a level 2 Lich with bunch of peasants not going to work out, as their hit points just do not stand up against that icy blast. Mountain King still doing a little bit of scuttling around here. Are we going to see a Stormbolt perhaps trying to finish off a low hit point unit? Is that going to get denied? There's Mountain King. There's a quick attack there. Are we looking at a bash? Yes, we are. Trying to catch up to that Lich. Lich does have Boots of Speed, so does the Mountain King. Are we going to see some damage? There's a Stormbolt there, as the Mountain King trying to get in front. Get 1 or 2 more attacks should do it, as the Lich escapes away at 3 hit points. Alright, Ghouls coming back around. Are we going to see a Stormbolt? Yes, going to try and finish off some more of those units. 1 or 2 more shots should take it down. That Ghoul able to escape away at 20 hit points, as the Archmage now trying to catch up. Alright, lower hit point units. Or higher hit point units purposely getting in the way here, but the Archmage off to the races now has to run around another unit again. Mountain King almost about to get enough mana for another Stormbolt, as are we going to see it? Are we going to see that Stormbolt? No, we are not. The Ghoul able to get back in time. Quick Dark Ritual right there. Are we going to see a Stormbolt? No. The Lich still trying to get away. There's a Stormbolt. And, no, that was just a bash. Or is the Lich going to get a Stormbolt? Yes, the Lich is going to get a Stormbolt. Down to 58 hit points. Mountain King trying to get in more attacks. There's the bash. And a lucky bash with that bonus damage, finishing off the Lich at level 3. Starbuck with a great bit of damage right there. And, well, perhaps 120 getting a little bit too greedy and not cautious enough with that Lich. We can see, 120 does have this Haunted Goldmine fully operational. Meanwhile, Starbuck is still trying to set up his expo down at the 6 o'clock spot, as the Altar of Darkness is suffering, well, quite a round of damage. We are still at tier 1 after all this time. Water Elementals now making their way over. Are we going to see some heals? Yes, we are. Low hit point Ghoul. Low hit point Ghoul still going after this priest here. What is going on? That priest is trying to stay alive, and the Mountain King, is he going to offer a little bit of saves? No, he is not. That Ghoul is just trying to run around every which way, and now it's the priest's turn to cause a little bit of traffic for the and, well, force a quick kill. One priest, however, lost on the other end, as the Crypt Fiends, with their superior or their piercing damage, able to deal bonus to those priests. Starbuck has his Southern Expo up. Meanwhile, but big advantage by Starbuck is that he is already at tier 2. The sudden appearance of that Mountain King is drastic, as we can see here, as another Crypt Fiend about to get taken down. There it goes. Mountain King now sitting at level 2, nearly at level 3, trying to finish off another Crypt Fiend. Crypt Fiend down to, well, 37 hit points. 1 or 2 more shots should be enough. One more shot by the Mountain King gets the job done, but still sitting at level 2 after all this time. All right. Both sides fighting. Mountain King wants to get a lucky bash, does get a lucky bash, and now the Crypt Fiend is backing away again. Rifleman continuing to exchange blows as the skeletal minions are heading back here. 50 supply compared to 40. Starbuck does have the larger army, does have that bonus hero, but that hero really needs to, the heroes really need to level up for Starbuck for him to really take a commanding lead. Crypt Fiends are getting taken down. There's level 3 now on the Mountain King, but already used up the mana for a level 1 Stormbolt, as the Lich now gets up to level 4 and has access to level 2 Dark Ritual. Both sides going back and forth. Archmage trying to retreat back now. Doesn't have boots of speed, but seems to be able to outrun the Lich, who has plenty of other targets to pick off. 50 supply compared to 40. Pretty much experience galore for 120, as 120 was able to stave off the attack and now move forward. However, an arcane tower was constructed, and is that arcane tower going to be able to take down this necropolis? No. The recovery rate is higher, but a lot of damage will be done to this necropolis. Enough so that, well, it may not be able to be, maybe forced to cancel. All right, quick Cyclone throwing the Mountain King up in the air. Archmage sitting at level 4 may try and clear out some of these creeps here to at least get to level 4 on the Archmage, which would benefit that Mountain King tremendously. Mountain King Stormbolt finds a Crypt Fiend here. There are a couple of other low hit point Crypt Fiends. There's a lucky bash. One more shot. It's going to get Dark Ritualed instead. A follow-up Stormbolt should be available. No. Wand of the Wind used in time after the Stormbolt's cooldown was completed for a tactical save on a Crypt Fiend. Stormbolt, however, finding the face of the Lich right there, turning back around, trying to get away, as the Death Knight, well, appearance could not come fast enough for 120. There goes a Crypt Fiend squashing down another bug. The Mountain King being an exterminator, finishing off bug after bug so consistently as another Crypt Fiend bites the dust. Mountain King still has enough mana for 2 Stormbolts. That Pendant of Energy providing that 100 extra mana, allowing for 2 more shots in the chamber, so to speak, as the 120 now backs away here. All right. Big Frost Nova, level 5 now on the Lich. Death Knight should be making his appearance out here momentarily, and here we are. Here we go. Death Coil saving that Crypt Fiend for a little while longer, but it may not be enough. Mountain King now looking to back away. Skeletal Minion is going to get cleaned up here. Mountain King still needs more mana, and now back up to 225, north of 225, with the Pendant of Energy drop pickup with the Potion of Mana in between. All right, both sides still engaging. Mountain King still has plenty of mana to try and put down pressure. Death Knight, however, has plenty of mana. Inbound Death Coil, no. Another Dark Ritual instead. The Death Knight didn't even bother to try and heal, as the Death Knight's main job is to keep that Lich alive. Lich down to 210 hit points, down to 150. Potion of Healing in time, going to turn back around. Could see a, well, did see a Frost Nova. No follow-up Death Coil. Stormbolt onto the Death Knight. And now Starbuck looking to finish things off there. And is the Death Knight going to fall at level 1? Yes. Death Knight falls at level 1. Arcane Tower still pushing off on the other position. And a long, drawn-out battle by Starbuck, as Starbuck's Mountain King escaping away. No. Gets taken out by friendly fire to deny experience. Without the Mountain King to throw and airmail some of those Stormbolts, picking off units, Starbuck quickly realizes now is not the time to continue this fight. Rifleman tries to put his friend out of misery, but his armor, well, preventing too much of that damage. All right, off to the north here. Necropolis still getting in some easy repairs. Mountain King resurrected at the tavern. Gold seems to be plentiful for Starbucks since he's been in low upkeep after all this while. Meanwhile, trying to clear out this creep camp while being so close to the opponent. Here we are. Here we go. Archmage spots all of this. Mountain King is going to be able to get some damage onto those Crypt Fiends there. Trying to pick off a unit or two. Does have a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. There goes a Frost Nova, as the Crypt Fiends are just going to find that target easily again. This is one of the reasons why rifle casters has not been popular in the meta, as the Crypt Fiends are just able to poke apart these priests so easily. The Crypt Fiends, with their superior, or with their very strong range, and the priest with their unarmored armor type, taking so much damage. One spell coupled with a round of attacks from the Crypt Fiends, generally more than enough to take down a group of casters. All right, Holy Light saving there. No, Staff of Sanctuary, and now Orb of Fire being transferred over to the Archmage, bringing in gifts to try and slow down some of those healings. 4-3-1 going up against a 5-1 here. Mountain King, unable to get enough mana. There's a Holy Light. Are we going to see a Death Knight Death Coil? No, we are not. It looked like that was a Dark Ritual or something, but I didn't see the blue exclamation point at all. Coming back around, Mountain King going to try and engage. Knights are out here on the battlefield as well, wanting to use those Sundering Blades against those Crypt Fiends to close in on that distance. This seems like a game of tug of war, or a pushing war, where you're just trying to push your opponent and then finish them off inside their base. 170 supply, as the Arcane Tower is still doing a little bit of, superficial damage. Stormbolt finding the Lich right there. The creeps are now joining in on the battle. There's an Archmage, almost nearly taking down Lich. Gets an Orb of Fire attack. Lich could get taken down to dead, as the Death Knight's Death Coil didn't heal that full 200. Lich falls at level 5, quickly resurrected back at the tavern, as we're looking at the Archmage healing up as well. 62 supply over 70 compared to 120, 65 over 70. The big thing was perhaps the experience gain for the Mountain King, now getting up to level 4, and has north of nearly 400 experience. All right, one Crypt Fiend already down. Another Crypt Fiend could easily get taken down. Or is it going to get taken down? Yes, by a Holy Light. I think that was a bash. And there's a follow-up Stormbolt. Crypt Fiends are just getting absolutely squashed down again, as that Mountain King still has enough mana for another Stormbolt if necessary. We're going to see a Staff of Sanctuary on that Knight. That Knight, nope, gets taken down easily. Mountain King rushing in a little bit too far, needing to double back around again. There goes another Stormbolt again, as the Mountain King still living up to the name Exterminator at this point. All right, Death Coil Frost Nova finding the Mountain King. Lich now gets up to level 6. Lich with level 6 has level 3 Dark Ritual. Staff of Sanctuary trying to save lower hit point units, as there's only one Staff of Sanctuary between the two remaining heroes. All right, Knight going to get taken down. Death Knight gets up to level 3. And are we finally going to get a bit of reprieve from these fights here, as destroyers are now taking to the skies as well? No workshop, no flying machines that I see as of yet. We are looking at a dual barracks. Scout tower here, not having any upgrade, as the Lich now comes around the corner with the surprise. All right, Death Coil, Frost Nova, big challenges, as the Paladin does get up to level 2. Are we going to see a Holy Light for a little bit of a save, but it's not going to last. Dark Ranger on the battlefield, getting a lesser Dark Minion off of that as well. Death Knight comes across here. Stormbolt. Are we looking at more damage? Mountain King was resurrected. Going to use a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, trying to finish off that Death Knight. Death Knight is in some serious trouble. He's going to get taken down once more, as the Paladin now may be able to trap the Lich. Now trying to go after the Lich. The Lich, does it have enough run in it to get away? Mountain King trying to get a Stormbolt down. It is down to 256 hit points. Mountain King needs a lucky bash or two, but has plenty of mana. Now the Mountain King is in trouble himself. He needs to get away. Staff of Sanctuary, and by putting pressure on the Mountain King, it was able to finish, was able to stop the Mountain King from pursuing, and with no Mountain King pursuit, no Stormbolt, and a safe run all the way back home. All right, looking to, clean things up there. There goes another Water Elemental. It feels like more Staff of Sanctuaries are necessary, considering the number of Knights that are out here on the battlefield. Yeah, pick up another Staff of Sanctuary. Staff of Sanctuary, that Knight back home. It will be back up to full hit points, as Starbuck now getting those workshops for flying machines to deal with these destroyers, which are destroying those Knights. All right, low hit point Knight. Yeah, that Knight had no reason to be in that battle. Free experience on top of the loss right there. Starbuck now needing to fall back here, and it looks as though 120 is now in a dominant position. 66 supply, a major supply advantage. Lich is now making a retreat in the back here. Paladin with the Divine Shield Archmage now sitting at level 5, opting for level 3 Brilliance Aura for more mana. More mana. Mountain King getting another Stormbolt down on the Death Knight here, trying to get a surround. Death Knight now down to 200 hit points, is going to get taken down again. No, Potion of Invulnerability transferred, as that's going to be a little bit of time to try and stay alive. Mountain King going to find the Death Knight. Stormbolt finishes it off. Mountain King could be in trouble. Holy Light trying to save that Mountain King now, down to 269 hit points. Going to find a low hit point Crypt Fiend. There's a Staff of Sanctuary, and dual Staff of Sanctuaries on the two heroes was the big deal there, as the flying machines, the riflemen trying to deal with those destroyers, and the presence of the flying machines couldn't come in fast enough. Main base mining, 2 minutes of mining left. Staff of Sanctuary on the Mountain King and the Knight. Units are just going to start being staffed back home in order to get back to full hit points. We do have Animal War training on those Knights. More flying machines getting added in. No weapon upgrades for the human army. Only 1-0 upgrades for the undead army. Here we are once more. Destroyers trying to make a play, easily finishing off a bunch of those peasants. And, what is going to happen now? Starbuck is in some serious trouble. Flying machines trying to make their way back over. Got to check the number of hero kills at the end. Well, it feels like the Mountain King, any unit that it got hit by a Stormbolt, that increased its probability of death by a good 80%. And Mountain King just coming alive, being able to get Stormbolts off left and right, but still needs to get to level 5 if Starbuck is to try and win this game. 120 is still in a seriously strong position, and it may come down to just getting a little bit more. Remember though, this Arcane Tower has been here for quite some time. There goes an Abomination. There's a Stormbolt, but is that going to be enough to try and finish it off? Knight now trying to get in front of that Abomination. That Abomination not able to get away easily. There's another bash. Abomination does end up falling. Where is that undead army? Acolytes now going to try and make their way over. Destroyers are going to easily devour magic here. Flying machines are off to the side as the Acolytes are trying to get away. Both sides are going to try and engage here. A little bit of creeps ready. And here we're looking 63 supply, now going up against 73. Knights looking to finish off some of these Spirit Towers and Nerubian Towers. Arcane Tower getting some feedback damage onto the Lich here. That is always key. That Arcane Tower is perhaps attacked more consistently than anything, and in comes the Flying Machine for a round of attacks on those Destroyers. The Flying Machines, their movement speed very fast compared to the Destroyers, I believe. Oh, also very fast because of that Unholy Aura. All right, engaging again, once more, Archmage, Stormbolt or bash onto the Stormbolt onto the Death Knight, bash onto the Abomination. Flying machines quickly going after those Destroyers. The Crypt Fiends, just not many of them alive and well here, as a quick Death Coil finds one Destroyer, but it may not be enough. Wow, no, that Destroyer able to back away at 4 hit points, finally taken down. Mountain King gets up to level 5. There goes another Destroyer. 60 supply compared to 64. Starbuck taking the supply lead, going after all of these units again. Mountain King has level 3 Stormbolt. Is he going to be able to stay alive? There's a Stormbolt against the Death Knight. Death Knight, however, has a Potion of Greater Healing. Staff of Sanctuary forced onto the Mountain King as silence a big deal there. Abomination about to get taken down. The Flying Machines, nothing else to attack. All the Destroyers are gone as the units are trying to retreat back now to restabilize themselves. All right, low hit point Death Knight gets Death Coiled. 61 supply compared to 43. Starbuck has taken the supply lead, but one Ghoul runs amok at the expo, shutting down all the mining. However, scarcity of resources, 120 going to lose his expo as well. We have a zero mining happening from both sides right now. Meanwhile, Water Elemental going to get cleaned up here. Dark Ranger is at level 3. Death Knight is at level 4. All right, Starbuck has a supply lead, and now trying to mine back once again. Perhaps an ivory tower, a guard tower, making sure that the ghoul play cannot be repeated. Dual staff of sanctuaries keeping units alive, and the flying machines perhaps getting the bombs would actually be beneficial now that all the destroyers are gone. All right, Stormbolt perhaps going to try and find a Crypt Fiend here in just a second. There's a quick Frost Nova. There's a Death Coil. Mountain King could be in trouble straight out of the gate. Stormbolt there trying to figure out the Lich. There's the Staff of Sanctuary, and the Lich now with a Potion of Invulnerability alive for at least a little while. There's a Death Coil followed by a Divine Shield in time for the save there, trying to finish off some of these additional units. Lich is okay for now as the Archmage, well, takes a Frost Nova and a Death Coil as well. Lich falls at level 6, and that may be enough, even with the Mountain King currently out of commission because of the Staff of Sanctuary. The Lich has fallen at level 6. Big surround on to a Death Knight here. A Holy Light trying to keep things going. Death Knight having some difficulties, and with that, Starbuck is going to take down 120. Beautiful, beautiful game going back and forth between Starbuck and 120. Starbuck responding in time to the tech switches of 120, finishing off those destroyers, as those destroyers well, would have destroyed Starbuck if he just tried to produce casters. So the tech switch, and we saw that tech switch from rifle casters to night flying machines, and it was just enough. Also, the strong Mountain King play with that early pendant of energy, allowing the Mountain King plenty of Stormbolts to pick off, well, to stun units and pick them off. Let me know what you guys thought about this game in the comments below. Starbuck with 7 hero kills with that all-star Mountain King, supported by the Archmage with plenty of Brilliance Aura mana. Thanks for watching.